we na Richard Emremo.
Obi, a number of concerns were raised by your listeners. Na ebinumu bisakra say Bagri Dam no. Did we saw the spill in 2010?
Yes.
From my search, Bagri Dam has regularly been spilled. I'm say almost every year, then spill.
Yeah.
So, and that explains why in Kofobi can say because almost spill last year, 2022. That's so enya effect bia ewo dam no so nti yentumi nka say almost spilling and Emma. Yenya as a problem because almost spilling no bie valves no valves na enye like control and those kind of because dam no sheda nye kese so they have been spilling almost every year nienti America say on was say ye twen emma ade ni dru bibia edru ansana ye be spilling say because we've done so before. Yenim say dam nankasa yedi kan ye no yanyenu to hold water up to this level na we holding no subsequently na yesan ye some re-engineering ya omode another height here then ebeka ho so aban ye minded because says ya ye mixed generation ye the thermal ye then abeka ho ye the another hydro ye bui aye then abeka ho so we must be very minded. Say ma because ye say ye generating fully hydro from Ekosombo because ye cheap enti ma insueno ma so to a point ye benya the level of disaster nya because we have to open a lot of the pipes and we have experts there. Look, Nancy in terms of weather reading, in comfort to me predict even the rain patterns ahead of us. And no crazy. The climate change now, Abano, has changed the period in Swekesena then etato. But it's still within that range. Because we hear history, the time normally the spilling is done, basically sometimes between July, August, September, and October. We hear statements issue either giving indications, say we will spill, our moon spill, and so on and so forth. And I'm saying, say, in the past, they have done some levels of spilling, applying sueno, and yendru a certain level. Are we saying, say, ye ninim die ewo Ghana ha, or mutumi ye then, predicti, saying so to at this level in the northern country are the tributaries, the sources of Insua Eba Dam. This is the levels that we are experiencing. And by calculation, by this date, Insua Ebeba Bedru Dam ho. So let's start. Are we saying say ye need science ye train until say ye the deep stick? Akwa kweshe dam no mu say drew level before we spill. Is that what they are telling us? But me meaning say we have those experts there. There were those experts even in our universities. There were those experts even in the meteo department. Ghana, say even the World Meteo Organization. There were those experts that we can depend on and do proper calculations. Who say so no to say at this level, this is the rate that is going to move. And my chance say ye na se kra. So now I'm taught to the level I was say we have generational mix enough because we have had times hydro generation down even to less than 400 megawatts or so, but we still had power and system was running. Once we are able to pay the other IPPs, independent power producers, now we pay them for them to generate. We can run very well, even if Ekosombo and then Kpong are not producing to optimal level. So that is doable. Ebinom can say, it's not only Volta region that was affected. Yeah. Of course, Eastern region.
Greater Accra.
For example, districts like Fantiakwa North, I think Upper Manya, Krobo, and then Esojamai were affected. In the eastern region. Oba, Greater Accra, Adan, East Ho, any Shai Usudoku areas were also affected. But the biggest affected Volta region. They are in the Volta region. But don't also forget, say, before the spill, no, now more the upper Volta basin also no more so break. They were equally also suffering. Serious impact has been had on communities or more
upper Volta basin.
For example, Oti, Uko Oti region. Even in Volta, there were districts in Volta that is also affected, like South Dai. May sure saying North Dai partly would also be affected. Bando, Uko Toko areas will surely also be affected. So what you call Utia, Biakwe will be affected and is affected. The island communities when you now are flooded. Uko Krachi East, the Dambai area are also affected. Uko Krachi West, Krachi proper is also affected. Krachi Nchumuru affected. Pru East, Uko Pru, all those areas affected. Bipe Sema some time back, Moko Kova, and as a result of heavy precipitation, the upper part, and affecting all those communities. Now, no, Joda na me call Krachi for meeting. Me Tremunu na Obi Kukrune Dan. Tuesday, a year back, no, now a diner has been submerged up to the window level. Up to the window level, a diner na ye Kukru na AC. That is done by just on a ferry, and I took videos and pictures of it, which I shared with friends. So some of the communities, even in the upper Volta basin, also are also suffering.
Okay,
seriously. I was saying then even though the lower ones, because of dam, the language of spilling, Emma attention, or more lower, no. There are a lot of communities also suffering in the upper basin. Also. Farmlands have virtually been taken over also, as a result of higher levels of water now. Because over the period that in Sueno, ever down, some areas have actually become farm areas. Now also quite a low line, assassinate a flat to say maybe Ufa Asempaha all the way to Parliament, a flat. And in Sueno Yikakra. To me, Obine bro, I would do an granuts. I would do an is now taken over by water. So there's a lot of calculation that we must be doing, even food disaster into next year. Because baby and has been taken over by water. So there's a lot that we must actually be thinking about and then be doing. You have some others who say luckily
more MPs, no.
You see, there's very little an MP can do. MP don't have any budget. MP and I can only appeal to people, appeal to the conscience of the people, because damn year affecting nipa bebre no obi yenya so mfaso. Because at a point our only source of power was the Akosombo Dam.
Sure.
Our only source of power, yedia building or mine, is the Akosombo Dam. At a point, until recently, yes, as I say, under President Rawlings, the self-help electrification project, communities bebrea most affected, na kanye ni bikrano, na enko omuho. So they have suffered the lack of use of this power and have suffered in terms of farmlands and even communities being inundated with all kinds of yare. Waterborne related diseases bebre those areas. They have suffered so much. In Kakra Omusa is being submerged. So it should not be looked at as a problem for MPs or Mufri area. You may be coming from a dry land somewhere. Nanso kanienu when you home faso in dam na omuye ya yenyina ye home faso no eno ena omuye den omubre was. So contribution towards it, and this was what many of us expected. So nka mampeni anko hontem kra no ukopie wo ho no part of our communication will be say who announce it maybe together with the telcos mo adwene ho a release a short code say Ghana ni bia say takfan say one CD say then na wo person who contributing this is a short code, dial this short code. Can you imagine the president speaking in Mepe where the area pictures is being shown about the design, announcing this short code for contribution? By now that Momo line it will have been receiving and receiving and receiving. It's not too late, but if they have thought through and done this then it be attracting a lot more attention because we need to get individuals and private organizations to come in. Some radio stations are sure to say or something on their own, but government must take lead and even declare, because a serious disaster. Sure. Look, a Janabia toilets, as we've said earlier, is mixed in all those waters. Okay. So for a very long time. Oh, why? Why? You don't want me? Why?
No, but what you're saying is this.
So I shouldn't finish what I'm saying. So
okay, finish your way forward.
Serious disaster is what has confronted us.
Okay.
Beyond saying Crawford baby or mubeda or munya baby or mbeda electricity problem, many kahunu. There is a serious disaster, health disaster. I also you take steps to quickly deal with and even educate people the more. Okay. And now one of my very respected lecturer, Professor Chris Gordon, and he was sounding an advice, and NADMO must add that to their education. Say, in Suono ISANO, it takes over a lot of coconut plantation, and the Emma coconut no, esro hono ababeye just at the level of the water. Some people will attempt, say, omudi omuke news to go and harvest the coconut because says because the coconut is just at the water level. I see you must watch out because a honor the snakes will be hiding because that's also the safe haven for them for snakes. Asasibia eni hobiumti, that is a safe haven for snakes, and they may be very hungry by now. So omunya bibia in the enti. When coconut and you are hungry, so you want to go and harvest to come and eat, you may encounter snake bite there.
Okay. And
some of these snakes are very poisonous. So all this education must go and discourage people from drinking from all these water sources. And of course, the example of the Queen Elizabeth case, as political debate. Otherwise, there are a number of things that we have done here that save the situation. For example, Ebola. Ebola, Ebebano. Ebola. No, I'm saying my example. Ebola Beba. Before EC sent us to deal with Ebola, we responded and made sure Enunti and Ebola in Ghana.
Let me hear Richard and then. Yes.
My said Ufia Manakasa, now I say the Okano, discussions.
Yes.
But earlier on, back on the may still be encouraging a sober moment. On you know, not say they are ending the former year or no.
Well, you are still going back to this, responding
to the text messages. When you were speaking, I was very quiet. Okay. So, Entino, on take some advice. Now, Paul
Medina, oh boy.
But Paul de Sousa, no, say I should to apologize or in honesty and the Ben or no, the brow by me out of the NDCH. I apologize for Bibida. 2016,
because only Bibia also apologizing.
Eya omobai. No more yen a cruma to Kamagana for you, Abrea to Abatia Mokoye. The Ben or no, sorry if he are condemned Bibida. I want to be safe.
Oh, so that's why you don't want to condemn. That's why you don't want to condemn.
He doesn't have the ability to
that
do
is
that.
Why
so
you don't want to condemn.
He's just talking about it.
Oh, yeah.
But Obi, 2015 disaster BC Kroma. I is it 2015? Yes, I think 2015. Flood in BC circle.
Circle, yeah, okay.
They are very painful. Should we say a buy or test one at that time? I'm planning. Because every other year be not flood the CC.
Richard, are you serious about?
Oh, Massa, please.
Why? No, but Obi, no. Yes, sir.
But all the things you said, Obi could have retorted. Why are you behaving as if say, oh no,
no, because a flood situation with spilling, the same. Well,
Richard, make your point.
No, make your point. Make your point.
We could have said, sir, flooding has been happening in this country for as long as they were in power at the time. The way he is speaking here, appearing very sanctimonious, saying that you have planned as though he's almost an advisor, or we should remove the VRA director and put him there. Huh? Is it what we saw when they were in power? Is that how they managed affairs of this country when they were in power? So much that people died on that day. So many people died. So something in the nature of crisis, it is simply crisis. It doesn't matter what you were going to do, what you had planned, what your simulations were, what your preparations were. Crises have their way of coming, and they come. We were sitting here in this country in 2019 when we went December 31st and prayed that 2020 should bring good tidings. Nobody knew that COVID-19 would come. Okay? The very worst, that is very advanced with technology, able to come up with medicines and cure most of the difficult diseases, cancer and the rest. COVID-19 overwhelmed the whole world. People died. It's not as if say, I know a joke. People died. Even in the best jurisdictions. Our more capacity. Eventually, you know what happened? It took them time to be able to devise a vaccine to cure the disease. So when happenings like this come, it inundates you, and no creative problem. No. The spillages that have happened before now, I haven't created this much problem to merit to say Bianca, I buy way, I saw take it this step way, take it this step way. The abbey, a base free. I buy way and I make COVID-19 actually obi. COVID-19 by any or how are you cool munina. And which President made it a point to say, never again would we be caught with our pants down. And he's going to invest in building 111 district hospitals and hospitals. And those projects are on the way. You learn from disasters. And the disaster Abai would put measures in place. Said to be COVID, said or mine President now he made some very consequential statements. One in the nature of ensuring, say, NADMO Bekoso I supply all the things I'm mindful here for the period ahead of us to say what are the best receipt. In the same vein, there was a commitment by the Ministry of Roads to commit some amount of money, about 5 million, to rehabilitating the roads, especially the main Sogagope Bridge. Yes, it's almost under threat. The water level is almost at the base of the, our committee said they would try and renovate those things and other roads in the area. In addition to that, so I say Ministry of Agric and to put plans together to help the people restore their livelihood upon the water receding. So these are very consequential decisions President or announcing. But what is important Obi say the interministerial committee you put it together. That is the nature of how you should do this. So you bring all these ministries, someone transcend who ministry then you bet to me if I had then a bit to me if I then a bit to me no matter what to from ministry standpoint, the intervention so the idea is there should be some outreach for private individuals or businesses to participate and support. That is a given. Already young individuals are way. And no is something that within the space will be a bit to me but
also the committee without the health minister is a faux pas. It's probably something
no health, no gender in children. Children are most affected, women are affected. know these two
but
critical ministries.
Say, with the chief of staff, with the chief of staff chairing that committee, inherently, Obia is part of it.
Then why should we put all the security heads? Why should we put Minister for Interior, Minister for Defense, Minister for National Security, and then why didn't you say there may be one of them?
Why you should put all of those things because of your behavior in the Volta region. In some American way to have all the security. For the threat you are posing,
and you don't care about the health of the people. You don't care about the health of the people, and you don't care about the health of the women and children. No, he doesn't care about the health, the women and children. So they don't need to. Let me interpret it.
Now, and I make my own interpretation.
Of course.
My own interpretation. Obi, chief of staff. A dean chief of staff,
So why didn't they put her there alone to do it?
No, they won't.
Why is the local government minister also?
With the chief of staff on there, effectively, you have almost all the government is there. Now, Odi Chia, Odi Govia, Odi Biabaka, no committee no for me a day. It doesn't mean a Abino will not cooperate. If they need anything to do with health, it won't come. But essentially, what you have put together is a working team.
Well, maybe
which does
not.
Us
no, I remembered something. No, I'm only helping you. I remember something. Your health minister say he doesn't think right when there are disasters. So maybe that's why you.
Well, this is your remind me for what is the value of that? Value now.
He said he doesn't think right.
Just stop this.
So maybe
otherwise, Mr. Obi. But any say, Obi, the Abino Butai say this problem will be solved and solved effectively. Enti yenya butre. They are not a woman having any the abuse of the people to weaponize the people's emotion against the government. And no is a no mobia. Now so Kofiati say hono omanye the year ya twasanya and they say
there's nothing wrong with their concerns. There's absolutely nothing wrong. There's absolutely nothing wrong with how they believe.
The only say Ghana Maya is the only one I work as Ghanaians. And this crisis, nobody could have preempted it. When they preempted it from 15th September, almost started spilling. If they knew anything, I don't know how else they could have preempted this thing and spill it all at once or gradually. They took the right decision at the right time to start spilling gradually. Because this crisis was destined to come, for us to learn something from, perhaps it saves us from something else much catastrophic down the line. The point I will make us say, how are we going to build out of this situation? And knowing this president and knowing this MPP government, we think long term. The way COVID by you're home said Debbie. Hospital, will take decisions from here to ensure there's necessary structures will be put in place to ensure Ghanaians will be protected. But let nobody sit anywhere to create the impression this president doesn't care about all of Ghanaians, because President Oje Ghana president. Now some more is a reminder to be our OT. Reminder to be our eastern region, will be our Volta region, upper east, upper west, or Mobia may who say, some to no Yambe drew Hoya and Trese Nakuma in the H3. Nina, they say in Mane Dorsu, but system no, obey Jumabwao. That is why our system no, into be a GDA or a binomu was a bino as Sumobia pepe.
Very well.
Kofi, your time now so. But me just
1 minute.
1 minute, I will deal with it. You see, abaya or train say crisis, but to Nipansana were doing, and that is what my good brother Richard is just admitting. Nka senka ejuma abanda dane share senka omutwaso eya. At the time COVID happened, ka would not have been this badly exposed. Ayaresabia bebrea abanda da shase na COVID mba no nim say nipa hia healthcare and you say then EC hospitals across the country no omu sisi omu wie bi kra ye University of Ghana health minister no kra nya COVID no now one can say onya COVID or say he was resting because that hospital was so well built that it is like a hotel, and now the health minister then your answer then your solution is not about the agenda 111. Corona Walker said you were so exposed because if you had continued all the health facilities, including not breaking down the Nigerian hospital when you were not ready, you would not have been so badly exposed. So that is one thing. Two, no, I don't need your help. Two, or say because chief of staff Ewo Honti, it takes care of health minister and the all other ministries. Then why did we have the other ministries like local government and all those community, lands and natural resource and all those ministries? Why did we put all those? Why did we put all those community ministries there? Critical ministry. Oh, you are intentionally doing this to disrupt my flow. But clearly,
yes,
the spilling is not the same as a natural disaster. Meaning, I may cabium. Say in so ena etoye, Emma, ehonyina eba eye the way I hear it. Say what happened in say Ketu South some time back, and no. We know, say, from time to time we may experience high tides. So flooding. The only thing they say, no, because of the sea defense project, and Koso, there's no indication, and people are concerned. But that is a disaster you cannot predict. But what can say, simulation. Simulation now, no. Simulation, okay. Because you are preparing for it, so you must be studying and be looking and be studying the trends and be studying the flow of the water. So we are paying them for doing nothing.
It's been great having you guys in our studios and we'll be back tomorrow with another exciting edition of Ekosiisen. We need your say bonsu from you.